cooperation between Israel and India. If everyone could just please be seated for us, thank you. The fabric of this relationship continues to grow stronger, and we stand on the cusp of opportunities that will yield tremendous results and strengthen our resilience in high-tech artificial intelligence, quantum computing, as well as economic, diplomatic, and security collaboration. Now, we are pleased to announce that a variety of agreements will be signed by the State of Israel and the Republic of India, agreements that will strengthen our partnership, drive innovation, and deepen the bond between Jerusalem and New Delhi. We will now begin the signing of these agreements in the presence of both Prime Ministers. The Cultural Exchange Program and the Memorandum of Understanding to the India-Israel Innovation Center for Agriculture will be signed by the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Gideon Sa'ar, and External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. Thank you. You can exit the stage now as we continue. The Memorandum of Understanding in the field of geophysical exploration will be signed by the Energy and Infrastructure Mr. Eli Cohen and External Affairs Minister Mr. Jai Shankar as well. Please take the stage as well. Thank you both. And now, the Memorandum of Understanding for Development of the National Maritime Heritage Complex in Lothal will be signed by the Minister of Heritage, Mr. Amichai Eliyahu, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you. Thank you both. And now the Declaration of Intent in the field of horizon scanning will be signed by the Minister of Innovation, Science and Technology, Ms. Gila Gamliel, and External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding on Cooperation in the field of Fisheries and Aquaculture will be signed by Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Mr. Avi Dichter, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding on the Cooperation on Advancing Education through the Use of Artificial Intelligence will be signed by the Minister of Education, Mr. Yoav Kish, and the External Affairs Minister, Mr. Jai Shankar. Please take the stage. Thank you both very much. And the presentation of the report of the 4th India-Israel CEO Forum will be presented by the Trade Commissioner for the Ministry of Economy, Mr. Roy Fisher, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Please take the stage. And now the implementation protocol to the agreement in commerce and services sector, the manufacturing sector, and the restaurant sector will be signed by the Director of Foreign Workers Administration at the Population and Immigration Authority, Mr. Moshe Nakash, and the Foreign Secretary for the Republic of India, Mr. Vikram Misri. Please take the stage. Thank you. The letter of intent on the establishment of the Cyber Center of Excellence will now be signed by the Director General of the National Cyber Directorate, Mr. Yossi Karadi, and the Foreign Secretary for the Republic of India, Mr. Vikram Misri. Thank you both. And now the Memorandum of Understanding between NPCI, International Payments Limited, and Masav, linking UPI, will now be signed by the CEO of Masav, Ophir Kadosh, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. And now the agreement on commercial arbitration will now be signed by attorney Dr. Menashe Cohen and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. The Memorandum of Understanding between the International Financial Services Center Authority and the International Securities Authority will now be signed by the Chairman of the Israel Securities Authority, Advisor Yosef Zinger, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you. And finally, our last one today, the Memorandum of Understanding on Artificial Intelligence will now be signed by the Director of the National Artificial Intelligence Directorate, Brigadier General in the Reserves, Erez Askal, and the Ambassador of India to Israel, Ambassador J.P. Singh. Thank you all for your participation today. I now want to welcome to the stage, to the podium, the Prime Minister of the State of Israel, Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, and the Prime Minister of the Republic of India, Mr. Narendra Modi, to share a few remarks.
This is an amazing visit, an amazing conclusion to an amazing visit. It was short, but extraordinarily productive and also extraordinarily moving. I think there wasn't a dry eye left in Israel after your moving statement yesterday in the Knesset. And I can tell you that since then we've had also the opportunity to not look all deep into our hearts, but also into our remarkable minds that we have in our two countries. We saw an exhibit of innovation that excites imagination beyond belief. We spoke about cooperation with the extraordinarily talented people of India and our people, and we're working this into concrete plans. I'll just give you two examples. You know, you talk about precision agriculture. You know what that means. It means you don't average irrigate a field. You target a specific part. No, you target a specific plant. You water a plant. Well, why can't you water a specific student's mind? When we talk about precision education, we have now the software and the AI to reach every young student, boy or girl, and enable them to reach their full potential. And the limitations that were constraining us in previous times no longer constrain us. That is, to those who seize the future. The future belongs to those who innovate, and Israel and India are bent on innovation. We are proud ancient civilizations, very proud of our past, but absolutely determined to seize the future, and we can do it better together. We've decided to have a G2G meeting in India as soon as we can arrange it. We'd like to take the distinguished ministers who are here. I have to comment, my friend Narendra, you have an amazingly efficient government. I mean, what you can do with one minister and one ambassador. Now, it gives me thoughts. I don't want you to worry about it. Don't worry about it. But in fact, we know that the meeting of minds and hearts that we've had here will also continue in this remarkable G2G that is long overdue and will create an even greater boost to the enormous benefits that we can bring to each other and I think to humanity at large. And finally, I have to say at the end of this visit that I owe India, I don't know if I told you this, Narendra, but I owe India a great personal debt. You see, when I met Sarah for the first time, I think our first or second date was in an Indian restaurant in Tel Aviv. It was Rina Pashkarna. And I have to tell you, there is no question. First of all, the food was unbelievable. And Sarah was introduced to it for the first time, so it was a great first date, not only with the food, the date was excellent too. So obviously, I'm indebted to you, as are my children, and I want to tell you how deeply and from the heart we feel both our personal friendship and the friendship between our governments and our peoples, and may this continue and flourish and strengthen, as I'm sure it will as a result of this visit. Thank you, Narendra, and thank you all. Thank you.
So I'll have to use Your Excellency, प्रधानमंत्री और मेरे मित्र नेतन्याहू, मिसेस नेतन्याहू, दोनों देशों के डेलीगेट्स, मीडिया के साथियों, नमस्कार, शालोम। मेरे और भारतीय डेलीगेशन के गर्मजोशी भरे स्वागत के लिए मैं प्रधानमंत्री नेतन्याहू का एक बार फिर हृदय से आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। 9 वर्ष पहले मुझे इजरायल की यात्रा करने वाले पहले भारतीय प्रधानमंत्री बनने का सौभाग्य मिला था। एक बार फिर इजरायल की ऐतिहासिक भूमि पर कदम रखना मेरे लिए गर्व और भावुकता का क्षण है। कल मुझे इजरायल के पार्लियामेंट को संबोधित करने का अवसर मिला। वहां मुझे स्पीकर ऑफ द क्नेसेट मेडल से भी सम्मानित किया गया। मैं इस सम्मान के लिए क्नेसेट स्पीकर महोदय, मेरे मित्र प्रधानमंत्री नेतन्याहू और इजरायल के लोगों का हार्दिक आभार व्यक्त करता हूं और इसे 140 करोड़ भारतवासी और भारत इजरायल मित्रता को मैं समर्पित करता हूं। फ्रेंड्स, हमारे संबंध गहरे विश्वास, साझा लोकतांत्रिक मूल्यों और मानवीय संवेदनाओं की मजबूत आधारशिला पर आधारित है, उस पर स्थापित है। हमारे रिश्ते समय की हर कसौटी पर खरे उतरे हैं। आज हमने अपनी टाइम टेस्टेड साझेदारी को स्पेशल स्ट्रेटेजिक पार्टनरशिप का दर्जा देने का ऐतिहासिक निर्णय लिया है। यह निर्णय दोनों देशों के लोगों की आकांक्षाओं का प्रतिबिंब है। फ्रेंड्स, आज की बैठक में हमने अपने सहयोग को नई दिशा और तेज गति देने पर चर्चा की। हमारा आर्थिक सहयोग ग्रोथ, इनोवेशन और शेयर प्रॉस्पेरिटी का इंजन बना हुआ है। आपसी निवेश को बढ़ावा देने के लिए हमने पिछले वर्ष बायलैटरल इन्वेस्टमेंट एग्रीमेंट किया। हम शीघ्र ही एक म्यूचुअली बेनिफिशियल फ्री ट्रेड एग्रीमेंट को भी अंतिम रूप देंगे। टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी भावी साझेदारी का केंद्र है। आज हमने क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनरशिप स्थापित करने का निर्णय लिया है। इससे एआई, क्वांटम और क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स जैसे क्षेत्रों में सहयोग को नई गति मिलेगी। मुझे खुशी है कि इजरायल में यूपीआई के इस्तेमाल के लिए समझौता किया गया है। डिजिटल हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में भी हम अपने अनुभव साझा करते हुए लोगों के जीवन में सुधार लाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। रक्षा के क्षेत्र में हमारा दशकों पुराना विश्वसनीय सहयोग रहा है। पिछले वर्ष हुए एमओयू से इसमें नए आयाम जुड़ेंगे। हम मिलकर जॉइंट डेवलपमेंट, जॉइंट प्रोडक्शन और ट्रांसफर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी की दिशा में आगे बढ़ेंगे। साथ ही हम सिविल न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी और स्पेस जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी सहयोग आगे बढ़ाएंगे। फ्रेंड्स, दोनों देशों के बीच कृषि सहयोग का लंबा और सफल इतिहास रहा है। आज हमने इस सहयोग को फ्यूचरिस्टिक दिशा देने का संकल्प लिया है। इजरायल के सहयोग से भारत में स्थापित सेंटर्स ऑफ एक्सीलेंस हमारी मित्रता के उत्तम उदाहरण है। इनकी सफलता देखते हुए हमने इनकी संख्या 100 तक ले जाने का 100 तक ले जाने का लक्ष्य निर्धारित किया है। इस दिशा में एक कदम और बढ़ाते हुए विलेजेस ऑफ एक्सीलेंस बनाने पर भी काम कर रहे हैं। इससे इजरायली टेक्नोलॉजी भारत के गांव-गांव तक पहुंचेगी और लाखों किसानों की आय और उत्पादकता में बहुत बढ़ोतरी होगी। हम मिलकर फ्यूचर रेडी फार्मिंग सॉल्यूशंस भी विकसित करेंगे। भारत में इंडिया इजराइल इनोवेशन सेंटर फॉर एग्रीकल्चर की स्थापना इस सहयोग के लिए मजबूत आधार प्रदान करेगी। फ्रेंड, हमारे पीपल टू पीपल टाइज हमारे संबंधों का एक महत्वपूर्ण स्तंभ है। 2023 में हुए मैन पावर मोबिलिटी एग्रीमेंट के माध्यम से भारत ने इजरायल के कंस्ट्रक्शन और केयर गिवर सेक्टर्स में महत्वपूर्ण योगदान दिया है। भारतीय कामगारों ने अपनी मेहनत, प्रतिबद्धता और कौशल से विश्वास अर्जित किया है। मुझे खुशी है कि इस सहयोग का विस्तार कॉमर्स और सर्विसेज जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी किया जा रहा है। दोनों देशों के युवाओं, रिसर्चर्स और इनोवेटर्स को जोड़ना हमारी मुख्य प्राथमिकता रही है। इस दिशा में आज हम इंडिया इजराइल एकेडमिक फोरम की स्थापना कर रहे हैं। फ्रेंड्स, आज हमने क्षेत्रीय एवं वैश्विक मुद्दों पर भी व्यापक चर्चा की। क्षेत्रीय कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ावा देते हुए हम इंडिया मिडिल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर आईमैक और इंडिया इजराइल यूएई यूएसए यानी I2U2 पर नई गति से आगे बढ़ेंगे। फ्रेंड्स, भारत और इजराइल पूरी तरह से स्पष्ट है कि आतंकवाद का दुनिया में कोई स्थान नहीं है। किसी भी रूप में, किसी भी अभिव्यक्ति में आतंकवाद को स्वीकार नहीं किया जा सकता। हम कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आतंकवाद और उनके समर्थकों का विरोध करते रहे हैं और आगे भी करते रहेंगे। पश्चिम एशिया में शांति और स्थिरता से भारत के सीधे सुरक्षा ही जुड़े हैं। इसलिए हमने शुरुआत से ही संवाद और शांतिपूर्ण समाधान का समर्थन किया है। यही ग्लोबल साउथ और पूरी मानवता की पुकार है। भारत की सोच स्पष्ट है। ह्यूमैनिटी मस्ट नेवर बिकम अ विक्टिम ऑफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट। गाजा पीस प्लान से शांति का एक रास्ता बना है। भारत ने इन प्रयासों का पूर्ण समर्थन किया है। भविष्य में भी हम सभी देशों के साथ संवाद और सहयोग जारी रखेंगे। एक्सेलेंसी, माय डियर फ्रेंड, आपकी आत्मीयता और गर्मजोशी ने मेरी यात्रा को यादगार बना दिया है। मैं एक बार फिर आपसे और इजराइल के लोगों से जो प्यार मिला है, जो स्नेह मिला है, जो सम्मान मिला है, इसके लिए हृदय से बहुत बहुत आभार व्यक्त करता हूं। बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। तोदा रब्बा।
Putting out their media statements.
Thank you,
after the
everyone, for
exchange of
joining us
documents.
today. I ask you to just remain seated, please.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu making their remarks after the bilateral level, delegation-level talks. Several MOUs have been signed. India-Israel Innovation Center in Agriculture, MOU on geophysical exploration, another MOU on National Maritime Heritage Complex, then one on horizon scanning, cooperation in fisheries and aquaculture, advancing education using AI, implementation of protocol on commerce and service sector, then a letter of intent in establishing a cyber center of excellence. And we also saw UPI also being linked with Israel's digital services app, Masav, and the National Payment Corporation of India. Then there was a pact announced on commercial arbitration. Another MOU on International Financial Services Centers Authority and International Securities Authority. And finally, an MOU signed on sharing and cooperating on the use of artificial intelligence. These are significant MOUs signed today between India and Israel. As Benjamin Netanyahu said, they excite innovation beyond imagination. So the key emphasis here on collaborating with Israel for precision agriculture, precision education, and
Tanvi, beyond the MOUs, when the leaders made their statements before the media, they mentioned some other significant things as well which have been agreed. We had Benjamin Netanyahu saying that the G2G meeting in India will soon be possible as well. So a certain effort is going to be dedicated in that direction as well. And Prime Minister, in fact, spoke extensively about what the two leaders have agreed on doing, specifically in terms of not just the use of UPI in Israel, but also in terms of how the Pact on Defense, which was formalized just last year, has been taken forward and will be taken forward even more in the shape of JVs, joint development, transfer of technology. He's also mentioned civil nuclear energy as well as space in that context as to how cooperation will be taken forward over there. Futuristic domain has occupied a lot of mind space in the talks between the leaders, it seems, from agriculture to high-tech areas, deep-tech areas. There's centers of excellence that have already been established, I think around 30 of them in India in agriculture, and this number the PM mentioned will be raised to 100, and there's been work that has been done in the field of villages of excellence as well, to take it down to the grassroots and ensure that the Indian farmers benefit as much as they can with the kind of technology in micro-irrigation and other fields that the Israelis have developed over the course of decades to make their arid land a green oasis of excellence really in that area. There is, of course, the mobility agreement that happened in 2023, which was also mentioned. Already a lot of caregivers and construction workers from India have gone and contributed to Israel's development to its society as well. And this is being extended, the Prime Minister mentioned, to the area of commerce and services as well. And he mentioned researchers and innovators connecting the endeavor, to connect them as well. So an India-Israel Academic Forum was also mentioned by Prime Minister Modi. And similarly, in terms of connectivity, IMEC and ITU2 are the two efforts, the India, Middle East, Europe corridor, which is a physical connectivity endeavor, and there's the framework of India, Israel, and the UAE and the United States that again has been working, and this framework will also be given added speed.
Indeed. On terrorism and countering terrorism, India and Israel on the same page. Prime Minister Narendra Modi concluding his address by saying that humanity must never become victim of conflict. And he said that India supports the Gaza peace plan and is ready to cooperate with countries who are playing a major role in it. Coming to Major General Sanjay Soy, what do you think of these deliverables here? Prime Minister Modi said that India and Israel have agreed to cooperate in the fields of critical and emerging technologies. No details yet, but what would it likely include?
In fact, I would say that we have covered wide spectrum, from sea, land, space, education, people to people connect, philosophy, fight against terrorism. I mean, it is a tremendous education. So, a lot of wide spectrum is there. As far as international relations is concerned, again, Honorable Prime Minister has highlighted of I2, U2 and IMEC. These two things had gone into back burner because of disturbance in Middle East. Probably this is will again catch up, very, very important for us. And it again shows the trust factor, the faith both the countries have, the friendship, long-term friendship both the countries have. I think another thing which I found it very interesting, UPI. 8 countries have already adopted a UPI, and there is 9th country which is going to be adopting UPI, which is a major achievement.
Fourth in West Asia, we have in UAE, Qatar, Oman, and now Israel.
Now Israel. Imagine this is another game changer for India. They are recognizing the digital payment system which India has developed. So India is proving its worth. We are showing our prowess. We are 4th largest GDP. Whole world recognizes it. And if you see in last 6 months, who is who of the world have come to India, whether from the Europe, Middle East, or Southeast Asia, everybody is wanting to connect with India, and with the relationship with Israel is going to be a win-win situation for both. Tanvi.
Okay. Right. And Ms. Mukherjee, what do you make of these outcomes? There is one particular interesting one which perhaps need to be explained a bit as well, which is a declaration of intent in horizon scanning, which is well, something that is very much required in the kind of geopolitical environment that we live in these days.
Co-panelist said, it's a very vast area that has been covered. But what is most significant for me as a professional diplomat is to see the amazing body language between the two leaders, the confidence emanating from both when all these agreements were signed, and the frank and highly personalized nature of the Prime Minister of Israel's remarks, whether it was complimenting our Prime Minister that he is managed with such a small delegation, with the same person going again and again with the MOUs and saying that I have too many on my side, but please don't get worried. He's giving the personal anecdote about how he took his wife for her second date to an Indian restaurant in Israel and how it clicked because of the food, and he said because also of the day.
In fact, the person that he mentioned in terms of the restaurateur from Israel, who's of Indian origin, Reena Pushkarna, she is a Pravasi Bharati Samman recipient as well.
Sorry, I didn't get...
He mentioned Reena Pushkarna, she's a Pravasi Bharati Samman recipient as well.
Yes, he mentioned that, and he also, in his remarks like PM, they had huge common ground, whether it was Prime Minister reiterating very solidly his support for the Gaza peace plan, his reiteration that India will always go after the sponsors of terrorism, will never ever allow terrorism to undermine a country, which got him a huge amount of applause from the audience who were hearing him through interpretation. So it took about 20 seconds later that there was the ovation. These were all issues that he brought to the Israeli Prime Minister and an audience, which broke new ground in the manner in which he said it. And the the G2G meeting is very, very important. And both said that any pending issues which need to be sorted out for all this to go into effect, all the MOUs, is going to be sorted out because the FTA is going to be signed very soon.
Okay, so, yes, that was a welcome announcement, yes. Baswati Mukherjee, let me also bring in my colleague Shubhendu Ghosh, present at in fact, standing by for the presser there. Important agreements, a vast scope, as we were discussing with our expert panel here, Shubhendu. The important fact, India and Israel agreeing to elevate their ties to special strategic partnership here.
That's right, Tanvi. Expectations were high already in the manner in which the cooperation is likely to be boosted across all domains and the manner in which this relationship is going to be called in the near future, special strategic partnership, and perhaps in days ahead, in months and years ahead, we'll fully understand the potential of what that means. For now, we see that the engagement cooperation has been pushed and been boosted across domains in agriculture, in tech and education, in defense and organized workforce migration as well. So we see the expectation that was there that the next level of engagement India and Israel are ready for. The leaders have now presented a roadmap. There are going to be institutions coming up now, centers of excellence. One that exists are going to be larger in number. Of course, the cherry on the cake is the announcement for negotiation and the possibility of a free trade agreement in the days and years ahead. That could really help capitalize the potential that the two countries have in the domain of trade that has yet to see the kind of capacity that both sides are able to offer. So all in all, we see that a very, very comprehensive, meaningful and a forward-looking engagement between both the leaders, Prime Minister Modi and Prime Minister Netanyahu. And much now is, in terms of opportunities, open for people across sectors, farmers, students, innovators, infrastructure development in defense and security, host of areas. In that sense, exciting time ahead for the engagement and ties between India and Israel.
Yeah, it's very interesting, Shubhendu, especially in the tech domain, be it for agriculture or in terms of even a geophysical exploration pact, which will require a lot of technological inputs coming in from both the sides, perhaps cyber center of excellence, artificial intelligence, and also something that one doesn't really hear about much, which is horizon scanning, which is a predictive sort of methodology which employs a lot of elements really in terms of even real hard intelligence as well.
That's right, Gautam. We see how both nations are poised for a technology, for innovation-led future. And not only are they confident in their own domestic capability, but their ecosystems are now all set to converge and cooperate with one another. And that could be a force multiplier for whether we talk about the end users or people who are part of creating such infrastructure. So in that sense, both countries embracing the strengths that they have in technology, the ambitions that they have in emerging technologies and ecosystems, and linking it together to make sure that the benefits of it can be accessed by not just people of India and Israel, but this could be, in fact, this partnership could be, in fact, an important engine of technology and innovation-led growth in the days ahead.
All right, request you, Shubhendu, to stay with us as we tell our viewers how Prime Minister Narendra Modi has just concluded these bilateral level talks with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Narendra Modi declared India's clear stance on Gaza during his address, highlighting the Gaza peace plan as a pathway to peace. He affirmed India's full support for these efforts and pledged ongoing dialogue and cooperation with all nations to foster lasting stability.
भारत की सोच स्पष्ट है. Humanity must never become a victim of conflict. गाजा पीस प्लान से शांति का एक रास्ता बना है. भारत ने इन प्रयासों का पूर्ण समर्थन किया है. भविष्य में भी हम सभी देशों के साथ संवाद और सहयोग जारी रखेंगे.
All right, we're taking you live across now to a briefing by the Ministry of External Affairs there in Israel in the context of the PM's visit?
Just concluded a short while ago. The Prime Minister is here on a state visit at the invitation of His Excellency Mr. Benjamin Netanyahu, the Prime Minister of Israel. This is the Prime Minister's second visit to Israel. He was last here almost 9 years ago, which was his first visit. The visit is therefore a very, very significant milestone in India-Israel relations and seeks to capture the distance that has been traveled in the last decade or so, and to set the stage for the next phase of this very, very important relationship. This has been, in Prime Minister Netanyahu's words, an exceptional visit. It's been a short visit, slightly over 24 hours, but it has been a very rich visit in terms of outcomes and therefore a very, very productive exercise. I should also point out at the outset that this visit comes in the context of an effort by the Prime Minister himself to take interest in and pursue our relations, India's relations with all the countries in this region in West Asia. In slightly over the last 1 year, the Prime Minister has paid visits to Kuwait, to Saudi Arabia, to Jordan, to Oman, and now to Israel. And of course, he has received several heads of state, heads of government, and other dignitaries from this region as well. On arrival at the airport yesterday, the Prime Minister was accorded a ceremonial welcome by the Prime Minister of Israel and his wife, Mrs. Sarah Netanyahu. We saw the warmth that was on display. The two Prime Ministers had a tete-a-tete at the airport itself before the Prime Minister arrived at his hotel, where he received the traditional welcome by the Indian community here in Israel. Yesterday, the highlight of the Prime Minister's program, which I'm sure all of you would have followed, was his address to the Knesset, where he was invited by the Speaker of the Knesset, His Excellency Mr. Amir Ohana, to address a special plenary session of the Knesset. The session was also addressed by Prime Minister Netanyahu and leader of the opposition, Mr. Yair Lapid. The Prime Minister was also conferred the Medal of the Knesset in recognition of his exceptional contribution through his leadership to strengthen the strategic relations between India and Israel. And Prime Minister Modi is the first recipient of this medal. Later in the evening yesterday, the two Prime Ministers together visited a special technology exhibition which showcased over a dozen cutting-edge Israeli technologies across multiple sectors that also happen to be the focus of India-Israel relations. These included technologies in the fields of quantum, artificial intelligence, health, smart mobility, cybersecurity, water and agriculture, climate, energy, and space. The Prime Minister was then hosted for a private dinner later in the evening by Prime Minister Netanyahu and Mrs. Netanyahu. This morning, the Prime Minister began with a visit to Yad Vashem, the World Holocaust Remembrance Center in Jerusalem, and laid a wreath in memory of the victims of the Holocaust. It was a solemn occasion where the Prime Minister paid his respects together with Prime Minister Netanyahu. The two leaders toured the Hall of Names and the Children's Memorial and participated in a memorial ceremony in the Hall of Remembrance. Thereafter, the Prime Minister had the opportunity to call on the President of Israel, His Excellency Mr. Isaac Herzog, and the two leaders also planted an oak tree in the presidential garden in honor of Prime Minister Modi's Ek Ped Maa Ke Naam initiative, a tree for mother. Prime Minister then held delegation-level talks with Prime Minister Netanyahu, which, as I mentioned, have just concluded a short while ago. The talks gave both leaders the opportunity to go through the entire spectrum of the India-Israel strategic partnership. It was agreed to deepen further our relationship in a wide array of sectors, including science and technology, innovation, research, critical and emerging technologies, cybersecurity, agriculture, water, defense and security, trade and economy, people-to-people exchanges. In a demonstration of the deep trust and strength that prevails in this relationship, the two leaders also decided to elevate the relationship to an India-Israel special strategic partnership for peace, innovation, and prosperity. Following the delegation-level talks, both leaders jointly addressed a press conference. A number of MOUs and agreements, I think nearly 16 in total, were exchanged in the presence of the leaders. There were also several announcements. A comprehensive list of the agreements as well as the announcements will shortly be available on our website. As we speak, the Prime Minister is meeting with prominent members of the Indian Jewish community here in Jerusalem and a group of Indologists. He will also be meeting with a few personalities from the field of culture, some personalities from the area of film, including, I am told, some cast members of the TV serial Fauda. I'm sorry to be missing that interaction. The visit of the Prime Minister to Israel reflects the high priority that India attaches to its bilateral relationship with Israel. This visit has succeeded in further deepening and strengthening the multifaceted partnership between the two countries and in providing a renewed impetus to the joint efforts of these two democracies to advance their shared objectives of peace, innovation, and prosperity. As far as the outcomes are concerned, let me give you a brief snapshot of the various areas that they cover. As you would have noticed from the various public announcements as well that have been made, the focus of this visit has been on technology, including in the area of artificial intelligence, cybersecurity, innovation, research, and startups. Accordingly, both leaders decided to elevate the existing Joint Commission on Science and Technology to the ministerial level, which will make interagency coordination in science and technology between the two sides easier and the partnership more productive. There is a broad and fundamental understanding between the two sides to deepen their cooperation in areas of frontier technology, particularly artificial intelligence and its application across sectors. This is also on account of the recently hosted AI Summit in India, where we had a high-powered delegation from Israel also that participated. Cooperation in the AI sector is likely to focus, amongst others, on advancing education, focusing on developing AI-powered and human-centered learning, and collaboration on healthcare innovation, AI and digital transformation through the sharing of best practices and cooperation between designated institutions of the two countries. As Prime Minister Netanyahu also referred to in his remarks at the press conference, the attempt is to use AI for precision education. Cooperation in cybersecurity and horizon scanning mechanisms was also discussed and finalized through the instruments that were exchanged in the presence of the two leaders. Some of the existing mechanisms under science and technology cooperation, including the India-Israel Industrial Innovation Fund and the India-Israel Joint Research Calls, which have been functioning well. It was agreed to further strengthen and streamline these mechanisms, and the funding for the joint research calls has been hiked to $1.5 million from both sides. This will again give a boost to joint research between Indian and Israeli universities. The two sides have also agreed to establish the India-Israel Academic Cooperation Forum to strengthen cooperation in research, policy, and education. As you would be aware, agriculture has long been an area of very rich and very productive cooperation between the two countries. There are 43 centers of excellence in agriculture that have been established in India with Israeli assistance. Moving beyond these traditional ideas, of course, there has been an agreement during this visit to expand these 43 centers to 100 centers all across the country. But moving beyond these traditional areas into agriculture innovation and research, an MOU was signed during the visit for establishing a joint India-Israel Innovation Center for Agriculture in India, and to institute a joint fellowship for agricultural research by Indian researchers at the Volcani Agriculture Research Organization. In addition to this, the NPCI International, the National Payments Corporation of India, and the Israeli Masav have also exchanged an MOU for cooperation. This is to examine linkages between these two institutions for cross-border payments between the two countries, and to explore linking India's unified payment interface, the UPI system, with Israel's payment system to enhance interoperability for cross-border payments between the two countries, which will then have a spin-off for promoting tourism and other commercial activities between the two sides. Last year in September 2024, the two countries signed a bilateral investment agreement. And as we speak today, a negotiating team from Israel is in India for the first round of negotiations on concluding a free trade agreement between the two countries. And in order to fill out this triad, today the two sides have also decided to launch a bilateral financial dialogue between them. In recent years, mobility has been a sunrise sector of cooperation between the two countries. We have made considerable progress. Nearly 42,000 Indian skilled workers have traveled to Israel in recent years. Today, the signing of the implementation protocol on commerce and services, manufacturing, and the restaurant sectors will open up these sectors for mobility cooperation and facilitate safe and secure mobility of Indian nationals, Indian workers in these sectors in Israel. There is also a broad consensus that up to 50,000 Indian workers may arrive in Israel within the next 5 years to work in these sectors. Overall, as I said, this has been an incredibly rich visit in terms of outcomes, a very, very productive visit, which has deepened bilateral cooperation across multiple sectors. It underscores the commitment of Prime Minister Modi in particular to harness technology and innovation for inclusive growth, and the commitment of both leaders to make the bilateral special strategic partnership for peace, innovation, and prosperity more productive and impactful. The visit has been based, as I said, on trust, which was pointed to by both leaders as a fundamental ingredient and a very special ingredient of the India-Israel relationship. We feel that a lot of the understandings that have been concluded during the visit will create new opportunities for youth, for businesses, for entrepreneurs on both sides, especially in the areas of startups, in the area of technology, in STEM sectors, and will provide further impetus to the cooperation that already exists in the agricultural sector. And given the importance of all of these sectors to the Indian economy, we feel that by leveraging Israeli strengths in science, in research, in technology, in innovation, the journey of India towards its goals of a Viksit Bharat and an Atmanirbhar Bharat, developed and self-reliant India, will be realized even further. Let me stop there. We have a little bit of time, so I'd be happy to take a few questions.
Okay, excuse me. We'll go from here. First, Vishal.
अभी तनाव के हालात हैं ईरान और अमेरिका के बीच में, अप्रत्यक्ष तौर पर बातचीत का दौर भी चल रहा है। क्या ऐसे हालात में प्रधानमंत्री मोदी और बेंजामिन नेतन्याहू के बीच इस पश्चिम एशिया में जो तनाव है उसको लेकर भी बातचीत हुई है, और क्या बातचीत हुई, अगर उसकी कुछ जानकारी मिल सके?
Sahil.
Sir, I'm Sahil from ENI News Agency. PM went to the tech exhibition yesterday, which you mentioned. How it would be relevant, and can you describe the technology which was shown to him?
Suri there.
Sanjay Suri from CNN News 18 TV, sir. Does this visit have any bearing in any way on India's policy on the Palestinian question?
Question here, please. Yeah.
The microphone? Oh, thanks. Hi, Lisa Rozovsky from Haaretz. Thank you for doing this, Secretary. It's very important. I wanted to ask, both leaders mentioned IMEC actually several times, but as far as we understand, IMEC depends on normalization between Israel and Saudi Arabia, which in turn depends on the pathway to a Palestinian state. I was wondering if the leaders discussed this issue, and if yes, what did Prime Minister Modi say to Netanyahu regarding this issue? Thank you.
Dani Zaken from Israel Hayom newspaper. Prime Minister Modi mentioned the Trump plan, the 20 points plan, and the support of India on it. Is that support going to be practical? Is India going to join the efforts of finishing the war in Gaza and the Palestinian issue in general?
So we can take these questions.
Okay. All right. विशाल, आपका प्रश्न था जो बातचीत हुई है उसमें जो अभी एक तरह से हमने एक तनावपूर्ण स्थिति हम देख रहे हैं जिसका असर इस क्षेत्र पे भी पड़ सकता है। इन सब चीज़ों के बारे में मैं आपसे कह सकता हूं कि दोनों प्रधानमंत्रियों के बीच में इसके बारे में बातचीत हुई और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने अपना पक्ष रखा कि भारत का हमेशा ये मत रहा है कि जो भी ऐसी इस तरह की स्थितियां हों और भी इसी क्षेत्र में दूसरी भी स्थितियां हैं जो चल रही हैं, इन सभी का हल बातचीत से और शांतिपूर्वक तरीकों को इस्तेमाल करते हुए होना चाहिए। और उन्होंने इसमें जो भी भारत की ओर से जो भी सहायता की जा सकती है या कोई अगर पहल ली गई हो जिसमें भारत की मदद चाहिए वो उसके बारे में उन्होंने कहा कि भारत हमेशा उसके लिए तैयार रहेगा। Let me just translate this into English since there was a request. The question was about whether the situation with regard to the issues between Iran and the United States currently ongoing figured in the discussions between the prime ministers, and I would just like to mention that the regional situation, these tensions, other tensions as well that figure in the region without going into details, did come up for discussions between the two prime ministers. The prime minister made his point stating India's firm belief in the value of dialogue and the value of pursuing peaceful solutions to all such issues, and also reiterated his readiness to offer India's support if there is any way in which India's support is required, to stand ready to offer that support towards a peaceful solution. Sahil, to your question of the technology exhibitions, see, the relevance is obvious because these were, as I said, there were about 14 Israeli companies that exhibited their products and their offers at this exhibition in the area of communications, in the area of education, in the area of healthcare, in smart mobility, cybersecurity, etc. And all of these are areas that are of relevance to different sectors in India. And I must say that the Prime Minister spent quite a bit of time at the exhibition. He went into considerable detail into the products that were on display and invited each one of the innovators to look for opportunities in India, to look for partnerships in India, and seek to develop either take forward these products in India or to develop more products in partnership with Indian counterparts. I would say this was a very, very important part of the program as a whole. Sanjay, your question on the visit and its bearing on the Palestinian question, I think this is something that was made amply clear by the Prime Minister in his address to the Knesset yesterday, where he framed this issue very, very comprehensively, and while speaking about the fact that there have been initiatives that have been taken in the past in this region to try and find a solution to the Palestinian question. Of course, there are developments that have intervened since then, and the situation is not the same as it is today. In some ways, perhaps the situation is even more difficult, and the path to peace might have become even more challenging. But as he said, this is not the time to lose hope. It is the time to sustain that hope. And we have, in the current context, the Gaza peace initiative, and this goes to the question that was asked by our colleague here as well, as to the Prime Minister's reference to the 20-point plan put forward by President Trump, which I should recall was also endorsed by UN Security Council Resolution 2803. India has expressed its firm support for the initiative. The Prime Minister said this in his address to the Knesset yesterday. And we firmly believe that it holds the promise of a just, durable and lasting peace for all the peoples of the region, including by addressing the Palestinian question. So again, I can do no more than recall the Prime Minister's words from yesterday, which if I recall correctly, he said that let all our actions be guided by wisdom, by courage, and by humanity. And I think if we keep those as the pointers for actions in this part of the world, we will find good solutions to these questions through the path of dialogue aimed at a long-lasting peace and stability in this region. The question that was posed with regard to IMEC, I can confirm to you that yes, IMEC was discussed between the two leaders at some length. Obviously, the regional situation does weigh on the progress of the initiative and relationships between different countries that potentially lie on the IMEC corridor need to be in a certain state in order for the initiative to make progress. Notwithstanding that, there are countries that are taking steps in their national capacities to work on components of IMEC, which will eventually contribute to the corridor as a whole. And those steps are not necessarily dependent on the entire regional situation to be amenable to rolling out the initiative as a whole. But of course, it is the responsibility, I think, of all of the concerned parties to make all efforts necessary to ensure that we arrive at a situation where this extremely important initiative can move forward. And Israel, even though it is not a formal member of IMEC at present, is potentially a very, very important actor in the success of this corridor. And we aim to remain engaged with Israel, with all the other parties, to see how we can realize this initiative at the earliest.
One last question. That gentleman there, yes.
Hi, Alexander Cormo from Reuters. I just want to follow up on a question about Gaza and the US President's peace plan. Does India see a role for itself when it comes to reconstruction, when it comes to deploying some kind of personnel to the ISF? What role is India looking to have, if at all, in the post-war Gaza plan, or is it staying out of it for the time being?
Thank you. Thank you for that question. I think there was a colleague who had addressed this part of the question, and I missed answering that. Yes, we do see a role. What exactly that role is going to be will depend on, I think, a little bit more clarity as to how things will actually develop on the ground in Gaza. I am not going to speculate at this point in time as to which exactly is the area in which we may come in. But I can tell you with some conviction that India has very specific capabilities and very specific capacities which would be of considerable relevance in a situation of the kind that we see on the ground in Gaza. I won't go into further detail at the moment, but we do have the capacity to contribute. you would be no stranger to the fact that we already are implementing a large number of projects for the benefit of the Palestinian communities to the extent of nearly $170 million as we speak. And there are about $40 million worth of projects in the pipeline, again, in the areas of education, healthcare, capacity building, and other similar areas. But even speaking about what would be required as a consequence of the Gaza peace initiative moving forward, we would have capacities to contribute at the right time on the ground.
Thank you. With that, ladies and gentlemen, sorry, we have a schedule to keep. With that, we come to the close of this press conference. Thank you very much.
You had Foreign Secretary Vikram Misri making some statements and comments about the kind of interactions that the two leaders had and the outcomes that emerged from its 16 MOUs and different documents exchanged in the presence of those two leaders. And he did mention that the protocol that has been, finalized between the two sides will lead to the mobility of 50,000 additional workers over the course of 5 years. So that was a significant addition to what was informed about earlier. As a result of the briefing of the two leaders, he talked about the centers of excellence in agriculture. He talked about how progress has been made on both the IMEC and I2U2 fronts, and he spoke of how technology has been the thrust, Tanvi, of this interaction and the visit that Prime Minister's had this time around to Israel, the second visit in
less
over
than a decade. And also at the very end of the press conference, a very important point made there by the Ministry of External Affairs spokesperson there, saying that India will play a crucial role in the post-war reconstruction of Gaza. What that role would be determined in the days to come. But India very much on board on Gaza peace plan. That is what has been communicated. Major General Soy, your thoughts on these key engagements coming to a close now, the 2 days of intense negotiations between India and Israel. Both countries, proud and ancient civilizations, determined to seize the future, in the words of Benjamin Netanyahu?
Absolutely. Both countries have suffered from terrorism, both countries have suffered from attacks, and both countries are committed to bringing long-term peace. In fact, the number of 16 MOUs have been signed, and which range from, as I mentioned, sea, land, space, agriculture, economy, people-to-people connect, education, culture, and very wide spectrum of subjects. I would like to highlight a couple of things. Number one is agriculture. A lot of emphasis has been given on agriculture, and for which Israel has always been a partner of India. And number of center of excellences are going to be established. India's 50% workforce is still dependent on agriculture, and it adds to 16 to 17% to GDP. This improvement, I think, is going to be a major game changer in the field of agriculture for the people from the rural area, people from the villages, and who needs development and growth.
Certainly.
And definitely in the fields of other fields are in the fields of AI, technology, cyber. Name a field which has not been covered. I think it speaks volumes of the trust, volumes of the wide spectrum in which we are going ahead together.
All right, let me just remind our viewers of what all was mentioned was key when the two leaders addressed the media. In their statements, Prime Minister Modi announced accelerated progress on the IMEC corridor and I2U2 grouping to boost regional connectivity. He declared India and Israel united in rejecting terrorism unequivocally, vowing continued shoulder-to-shoulder opposition to terrorism and its backers for global peace and security.
क्षेत्रीय कनेक्टिविटी को बढ़ावा देते हुए हम इंडिया मिडल ईस्ट यूरोप इकोनॉमिक कॉरिडोर आईमेक और इंडिया इजराइल यूएई यूएसए यानी I2U2 पर नई गति से आगे बढ़ेंगे। फ्रेंड, भारत और इजराइल पूरी तरह से स्पष्ट है कि आतंकवाद का दुनिया में कोई स्थान नहीं है। किसी भी रूप में, किसी भी अभिव्यक्ति में आतंकवाद को स्वीकार नहीं किया जा सकता। हम कंधे से कंधा मिलाकर आतंकवाद और उनके समर्थकों का विरोध करते रहे हैं और आगे भी करते रहेंगे।
And the Prime Minister also announced the establishment of the Critical and Emerging Technologies Partnership with Israel during his visit, accelerating collaboration in AI, quantum computing and critical minerals. He welcomed the UPI agreement in Israel, reaffirming long-standing defense ties and pledged progress in joint production, technology transfer, civil nuclear energy, digital health and space.
टेक्नोलॉजी हमारी भावी साझेदारी का केंद्र है। आज हमने क्रिटिकल एंड इमर्जिंग टेक्नोलॉजी पार्टनरशिप स्थापित करने का निर्णय लिया है। इससे एआई, क्वांटम और क्रिटिकल मिनरल्स जैसे क्षेत्रों में सहयोग को नई गति मिलेगी। मुझे खुशी है कि इजरायल में यूपीआई के इस्तेमाल के लिए समझौता किया गया है। डिजिटल हेल्थ के क्षेत्र में भी हम अपने अनुभव साझा करते हुए लोगों के जीवन में सुधार लाने के लिए प्रतिबद्ध हैं। रक्षा के क्षेत्र में हमारा दशकों पुराना विश्वसनीय सहयोग रहा है। पिछले वर्ष हुए एमओयू से इसमें नए आयाम जुड़ेंगे। हम मिलकर जॉइंट डेवलपमेंट, जॉइंट प्रोडक्शन और ट्रांसफर ऑफ टेक्नोलॉजी की दिशा में आगे बढ़ेंगे। साथ ही हम सिविल न्यूक्लियर एनर्जी और स्पेस जैसे क्षेत्रों में भी सहयोग आगे बढ़ाएंगे।
So Prime Minister Narendra Modi wrapping up his productive two-day visit to Israel. He will be emplaning for New Delhi in a short while from now. So India and Israel agreeing to elevate ties to special strategic partnership during this visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Let me take this opportunity to thank Major General Sanjay Soy, strategic defense expert. Would also like to thank former Ambassador Baswati Mukherjee for sharing your views and analysis on the evolving India-Israel strategic partnership. Well, that's all in this broadcast. News and updates continue on DD India. Thank you for watching. Namaskar.
Namaskar.